In this week's Torah portion, we are introduced to the daily sacrifice. And sacrifices have always been very controversial for most Jews. Why was there such a focused concentration that this occurred in the temple on a daily basis? During holidays, to atone for one's sins, to be thankful, everything had a particular sacrifice associated with it. And of course, we believe that Judaism was the religion that took us away from pagan sacrifices, from pagan customs. And yet here we are knowing that the entire reason why the temple was built to begin with is to give us this platform for these offerings. And the question is why? On my recent trip to Israel, I think I began to uncover the reason for this. You see, in Hebrew, all words are interconnected if they share the same root. And the word for sacrifice, korban, has the same root of a word which is karov, which means near. You see, when you make a sacrifice, you're choosing to do something in lieu of something else. So you're distancing yourself from something and drawing yourself to something else. That which you're sacrificing for. You're sacrificing A in order to do B. When we went to Israel and I began to think, what is it so special that people see and are thankful and appreciate us coming to Israel? Because they know that we made a sacrifice. Certainly a far less sacrifice than those that are suffering and are injured from October 7th and beyond. But nonetheless, we took away from our week, spent the money to come and say hello, give a couple of hugs, and let people know that we are thinking about them and caring about them. And this is why the entire temple, where the temple is really where God is meant to dwell. The Torah tells us, God says, build a temple so that I may dwell in you. Not dwell in the actual building, but dwell in each and every single one of us. And how does that happen? How does God reside within us? When we put our own benefits and self-interests aside and think about something greater than ourselves. When we are willing to make a sacrifice for something or someone, that's when God says, that's me residing in you. And so I think that the temple was there to remind us that when we choose to give up something and to distance ourselves from it, even though it may be pleasurable or beneficial, and we draw ourselves karov, closer to something else that we think at that moment needs us more than we need whatever it is that we're staying away from or distancing from. That is a sacrifice. And I think that when the temple tells us that there were 2 daily sacrifices, one in the morning, one at night, it's trying to impress upon us that our lives are not here for ourselves, and our lives are here to be able to help others and to be there for others. And the only way that Torah reminded us this is by connecting literally our holidays, our atonement, our need to be thankful, the daily service in the temple with this idea of a sacrifice. And Hashem should bless all of us that maybe it's time where our personal sacrifices won't be necessary and the temple will be rebuilt and we'll have the offerings to God and with the building of our temple speedily, and peace upon Israel.